Hello again. This will be a quick video in DCS just to showcase one or two little adjustments that I've made to DCS. One courtesy of mods and FX processing that obviously have been built by others. So what I've done here is I have downloaded Starways' very recently released Vietnam textures for the Caucasus map. Let's just have a little look around. You can see here that we've got some nice sort of rice paddy like looking field arrangements, even up here in the mountains, which is all the hills, which is really nice. And the foliage itself is a little bit more tropical looking. We'll drop down and have a look. And you can see here I'm flying a Sabre, obviously, which is more Korea. Well, it is the Korean period fighter. However, the Vietnam textures do double quite nicely for a Korean map. They do not look out of place. They're probably, the foliage is a little bit tropical for Korea, but the overall look is really nice. We'll jump in cockpit. Now what I've also done is I have added Reshade, and I'm running Reshade with the following effects turned on: clarity, colorfulness, the debanding, HDR, fake HDR. I've got this levels on, I've got the magic bloom on, and the vibrance on. The goal of me doing this was to really saturate all the colors whilst avoiding any sort of banding, which I think I've done quite nicely. So let's have a little fly here. Okay, so I'm going to drop down so we can have a little bit of a look at the foliage. Now you notice that when I'm facing forward like this, and I'm looking primarily at some of the darker portions of the cockpit, it overcompensates the brightness, which is a little bit distracting, so I need to turn that down. I'm not sure what's causing that. I've been through a few of the effects and I can't seem to work out which one's causing it. We'll drop down here and have a look at some of the foliage, the vegetation. Let's get the nose down. I'm going to pause it in a second so we don't have to worry about the risk of crashing. This is a nice spot. Let's pause it here. Jump outside the cockpit, and you can see the foliage is basically these kind of palms, sort of a palm. Actually, I know what kind of tree this is, but I forget its name. But they look really good. It's the same tree basically repeated, or the same type of tree. Actually, there may be two varieties down there. I think there may be two varieties. But the way they're constructed, it doesn't look repetitive at all. So here we go, just whipping through. We'll have a look through some of the populated areas over here. You can see these sort of agricultural shapes on the ground. They look really good. And there's quite a yellow-brown tint to the soil. The earth looks a nice sort of reddy orangey colour, which actually looks kind of like the earthen colour they used in the TV series MASH, which obviously was set in California. Well, it was set in Korea, but it was filmed in California. But for those people who grew up watching MASH, this kind of reddy soil actually looks quite good for a Korea simulation, even though it may not really be super accurate for real life Korea. It fits the imagination Korea. Skipping down nice and low here in the Sabre. You can see the trees are still a bit blocky, but that's just the age of DCS showing through. That's not specific to the texture pack itself. The vanilla stuff does that as well. And looking up, you can see the sky looks really vibrant and blue. That's the Reshade. And we can have a little look at the outside of the aircraft. And it does seem to be just a fraction shinier than the vanilla. You can see those wing surfaces there. I mean, that is really glary. in the direct glare of the sun, those wing surfaces are almost completely washed out white. Now, it doesn't actually glare in the eyes when you're looking at it in the camera, but when you're in cockpit, you can see the bright reflections just off to the left and right here. They obscure the mouse cursor, and it actually feels like there's a bright reflection coming off the metal surface when you knock your head around like this. The bright sun glare off those internal metal surfaces, it actually, the whole scene sort of pales out a bit. I think that's really nice. So I'm going to be flying hopefully a bit more of the Sabre in the not too distant future. I do have plans to start a career campaign with the guys from 54 Squadron. We are currently doing the vegan campaign that Fat Ben has built, and when that comes to a close, I think we're going to move on to a Sabre career campaign, which obviously will be published to the channel. And in other news, Cliffs of Dover Team Fusion 4.5 is coming out sometime soon-ish. So I may actually take a look at that, and if it really is a significant improvement and gets rid of a lot of the bugs from the previous version, then I may actually put a bit more of Cliffs of Dover on the channel again for the first time in about a year. So for those people who kind of joined the channel because of the old Cliffs of Dover videos, you will probably be happy to see some more. Anyway, that's the Starways texture download for DCS 1.5. I'll stick a link to how to download that in the video description, and I'm also running a nice little Reshade preset here too, which I've built up using existing effects, which just gives this whole thing a really nice, rich, vibrant color. So there you go. Hope it was fun to look at something a little different and a little bit of news about what may be coming up on the channel sometime soon. Oh, actually, another thing I forgot to mention, I don't know if anyone's interested, but I've thought about putting up some non-flying videos on the channel. I play a bit of Crusader Kings 2, and I am playing a little bit of, oh, I can't remember, something else. So if anyone's interested in particularly Crusader Kings 2, oh yeah, City Skylines. So they're kind of strategy builder type games. It doesn't really fit with my channel, and it'll probably just put everyone off. But if people express any kind of interest in watching some other game videos, then I will happily upload them. In fact, I'll probably upload them anyway, whether people want to see them or not. We'll see. Thanks for watching this short little update video, guys. I hope you like what can be done with DCS 1.5. I suggest having a little look at it yourself. I'll link also to tutorials on how to put Reshade on. I just watched a YouTube tutorial myself and followed it. It was very easy. Okay, happy hunting everyone. See you later.